And so as we have less time, so I'm requesting Ramabhadra Prabhu to come forward and speak about the glories of Srila Gurudeva. So Ramabhadra Prabhu, since I'm going to India many times, he went with us there. He's very dear to us, and for many years we know him, and so he also we shared also some pastime together with Srila Gurudeva. Also, when we went to Bihar at the birthplace of Srila Gurudeva, he went with us. So many things we experienced. Okay, welcome Ramabhadra Prabhu. So we can speak your pastime.
Dandavad pranams, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Hope the sound is okay. If not, please give some heads up. Om Ajnanatirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhika Vaistadare Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tata Bhaktaya Namo Namah Mukum Karoti Vachalam Pangum Laiti Kriyat Kripatamaham Bande Shishi Gurinitarinim Nam Srishtam Manamapi Shachiputratra Surupam Rupam Tashram Bhajamurguri Matrim Gustavatim Shiradha Kundam Girivaram Maho Radhika Madhavasam Prapto Yasha Pratitibhaya Shishi Gurutam Natosmi Namayam Vishnu Padaya Radhika Jay Priyatmane Shishim Bhakti Vranta Narayan Namane. So first of all, offering my humble obeisances unto the Lord's feet of my most beloved Guru Pada Padma. Om Vishnu Pada Pramam Sapari Brajakacharya Stotrasata Param Maradhatama Guru Padma Tirandi Sama Shri Bhakti Narayan Gosvami Maharaj, begging for his costless mercy, especially on this day of Ekadasi. I'm also bringing my Dandavat pranams to all my Shiksha Gurus, all Vaishnavas, especially today our most distinguished speaker today, Sripad Bhaktivedanta Ban Maharaj, begging for his costless mercy as well. To all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas here, to all devotees present here as well, please accept my Dandavat pranam to all assembled guests. So today I'm feeling very grateful and fortunate to be here, taking all of your association, even though it's from a distance. Even though I have no qualification to speak or whatsoever, you know, the devotees, the assembled devotees here are actually very, very kind and very merciful. Somehow they're always engaging us in service. They're always engaging us in, you know, speaking something in Gurudev's glorification. So feeling very fortunate to do that, of course. So, you know, I will try to speak something in my own purification as well. So I'm feeling very grateful to be here as well. So today, because, you know, we're discussing Srila Gurudev's upcoming Centennial Festival, it's a very auspicious day, you know, because we're, you know, for many, many weeks now, right? For many, many weeks, we're discussing Srila Gurudev's, you know, his pastimes, his sweetness. We're discussing his, you know, his life and his teachings, his shiksha, everything that he actually gave, his instructions, everything in his books. And especially our personal encounters, we're discussing it for many, many weeks now, you know. But even then, you know, even if we would have infinite time available, you know, it still wouldn't be enough to glorify Srila Gurudeva, because his glories are like an, you know, it's like an endless ocean, you know. It has no beginning, it has no end, you know. It's difficult to touch the glories of Srila Gurudeva. Why? Because it's very difficult to understand and comprehend, you know, his position as an acharya and everything that he actually gave us, you know, in his books, especially his legacy, his contribution to this planet. So therefore, you know, even all future generations that are coming, even new devotees, they will always remain indebted to our most beloved Srila Gurudeva, you know. And actually, what to speak of us, you know, we can actually see there are many, many examples, you know, like Uddhav is actually praying to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's saying, Na vai payanti apachitam kavyastavasya brahma yushapikritam radhamuram swaranta. He's expressing his indebtedness to the Supreme Personality Godhead, to Krishna. He's saying, even, you know, even if all poets and even if all scholars would have a lifetime as long as Brahma, I would never be able to repay my debt to you, because you have appeared in two forms. One is the internal form, which is the super soul, the Paramatma, and that external form is called Sisi Guru Pada Padma. So, you know, again, we're very blessed, you know, today that to be here and have, you know, Gurudev's glorification actually going on. Also a very auspicious day, because today is Ekadasi, most auspicious, you know. So somehow if we can actually engage, entangle all of our 11 senses in glorifying Shri Gurudev, you know, then Gurudev will appear in our hearts, right? Because we're glorifying him continuously, you know, because we're speaking about his appearance, right? His upcoming appearance day. And but he's not appearing in our hearts. So the moment when Sri Guru enters the heart of the disciple, it means that, you know, Vyas Puja, or that offering Vyas Puja, is called successful. So we heard many stories, and the assembled devotees, they have asked me to share something from my point of view. I actually came in contact with Krishna consciousness and with Krishna consciousness when I was a pretty young boy, like 10, 11 years old. You know, I spent some time in ISKCON, but you know, it didn't last for long, because I came in contact with the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, especially disciple of Srila Gurudeva Maharaj, like, you know, Shashikala and Amaya and some other devotees that are actually mentioned already here, but especially, you know, devotees and disciples from Srila Gurudev. They would actually have an annual yearly festival in Holland. Back in those days, Gurudev would actually come every single year to Holland, you know, and up to a certain point where it was actually only on at one place. So they were actually distributing a pamphlet, and I received this yellow pamphlet with on yellow paper. I still have it with Gurudev's print in black and white. And I remember just cutting that paper and putting it on my altar, you know, because I was, you know, when I saw that picture, I just kind of like immediately knew from a natural point of view that he's going to be my Gurudev. I want him as my Gurudev, you know, I want to meet him. So that was probably around 98 or 99, something like that. So in that specific year, Sripad Bhaktivinoda Ban Maharaj, I think he just received sannyas in that specific year. He came to Holland. And when I met him, my heart was completely overjoyed because he spoke a lot about Gurudev, and even gave me the instruction that you should actually take initiation from Gurudev, because why? Gurudev is coming to Holland, so, you know, take the advantage. So the festival was actually going to be held in Bodegraven, which is actually you know, kind of like a nature farm place with lots of animals, and you know, most of the devotees who were actually there, they probably they remember it. So it was actually very nice when I came there. We had a big hall, and then just across the hall, Gurudev was staying in a small cottage with all, you know, things that he actually needed. And I remember it was raining a lot. It was a lot of rain, but sometimes when the sun was coming out, Gurudev just, you know, came outside and giving darshan like openly. So in those days, Gurudev would you know, give his darshan. And at that time, there were actually so many devotees present, like about 120 or, you know, 150 devotees max, you know, top. So so then Sripad Bhaktivinoda Ban Maharaj, he brought me to Srila Gurudev, and he said, oh, this family, they would like to receive initiation. And Gurudev was actually very pleased and happy to hear that, you know. But the thing was, I wasn't supposed to receive Diksha initiation. I was only supposed to receive Harinam initiation. So somehow it was arranged that I just, you know, me, my mom, my dad, my brother, we just all came in the room where Diksha initiation was going on. So at the same time, we received Harinam and Diksha initiation as well. So that was pretty astonishing. And I was, you know, my heart was so overjoyed receiving Harinam and Diksha initiation at the same time as well. So like I said, throughout the years, Srila Gurudev would come every year to Holland until, I think, starting from 2004, he would come to one place in Europe. So I remember in 2005, we would have the huge festival in The Hague, which is called Kijkduin, the big camping place near the sea. And Gurudev was coming, and everyone, you know, within the festival, everyone was having his or her task, you know, and the task that I got together with my godbrother was taking guard of the property, taking guard of the tent, you know. And prior to that, a few days in advance, Gurudev actually already came there, you know, just, you know, for rest prior to the programs that were actually about to be held. So, you know, me and my godbrother were just basically sleeping in the tent. It was a very big tent, and Gurudev would actually do all his programs there. So I was, you know, taking guard and even sleeping there. So the next morning, Gurudev was going for a morning walk, right? So I kind of like overslept, and I was still sleeping in the tent. And Gurudeva and Madhav Maharaj would actually come around the tent, and they knew that, you know, there are two boys, guarding the tent, and let's just check out, So just came in the tent, and I was still sleeping. So somehow Madhav Maharaj, he was calling our names, Ramabhadra and that other devotee's name as well. And I just completely shocked, like, is this a dream? And I just kind of like woke up, and just in front of me, Gurudeva, came, and he was asking me, like, what are you doing? And then we just discussing with Gurudeva that actually we're taking care of the property. So I just quickly took a shower, put my tilak on. So in the meanwhile, Gurudeva would actually come in the tent, and it's just, and kind of like investigate everything, the sound system, the Vyas Asan, it should be there, and that should be there, Gurudeva would be very, giving so many advice as well. So in the next few days, I was trying to do some seva, and I somehow just managed to come in the kitchen, So I remember Maya was there, Shashikala was there as well, and Savitri Didi was there, Dutch devotee from Vrindavan, she was there as well. I think Brinda Didi was there as well, and everyone was doing some kind of seva, and I was like, okay, what can I do? What kind of service can I do? And then I guess it was Savitri or Shashikala, one of those two, that told me, okay, you can just, you can sweep the floor, and take the garbage out and sweep the floor and clean it a little bit, kind of like that. So I was like, yeah, I'm happy to do that, And I also started cleaning the pots and the pans. So then in the middle, Madhav Maharaj, he came, and he was like, oh, how do you cleaning the pots and the pans? You have to turn around the sponge. Don't use the rough side of the sponge. Use the soft side of the sponge and clean the pots with that. Like, okay, no problem. So Madhav Maharaj, he went back to sleep. And then in the meanwhile, Gurudeva actually came in the kitchen. Maybe Shashikala, she knows. And Guru was like, okay, where's my prasadam? Who cooked, right? And I was looking at Shashikala, and Shashikala was looking at me. Was like, yeah, we don't know. We don't know. And everyone was like, oh, okay, what should we do, And Guru was like, oh, why didn't you cook? Like something like that, And then in the meanwhile, Sripat Madhav Maharaj, she stood up, and then very quickly, I think within 30 minutes, within half an hour, he would prepare like 2-3 sabjis, rice, dal, everything, same thing like Ban Maharaj. They are very, very expert in cooking. In just in 30 minutes, they can make many, many sabjis, right? So yeah, it was a really wonderful festival. And I remember actually that when I had a darshan with Gurudeva a few days after that, in that specific festival, Gurudev would remind me, like, oh, I remember what you were doing. I remember actually how much, service you were doing, and you were doing this and you were doing that, don't waste your time, and he would remind me in the upcoming days, like, all the things that I was actually doing. And I'm so astonished to hear that. So I actually remember that in that same year when I went to India, I think it was also with Shashikala and Maya's family, we both had darshan of Gurudev in India. I guess it was in Navadvipa, things like that. So I actually came in the room, and Gurudev started speaking again. I was like, I remember how much service you were actually doing in that festival. So don't waste your time, And he started to speaking to me. I was like, in your previous life, and then even in the life after that, you've been enjoying for so many lives. Now you have come to me. So just give this one life of yours to me, and your life will be successful. And my head was like spinning all over the place, right? Was spinning over the place, what Gurudev actually wanted to say. And nowadays I'm realizing this, like, definitely don't waste your time. Don't waste your time, because, as we know, just like that, life is over, So take complete full advantage of that as well. So I'm not sure how long I still have. Maybe 5 minutes left or something like, or is it finished?
I think you can conclude with 2 minutes.
Okay, I'll start concluding then. So yeah, in the year after that, Gurudev came as well. I remember a very beautiful darshan we had with Srila Gurudev in Shashikala and Maya's place in the Hague. That was actually the old house, right? The old house when you were still staying in the Hague. So, after the festival, Gurudev used to come a lot to Shashikala Maya's place, and somehow, in some way, we would get the news that Gurudev is actually here in our city, and we can actually go and take darshan. So I actually remember, because their house had a very big stairs to the upper floor, and then when you enter the house, it had another stairs to the upper department. So I remember I was like, how did Gurudev actually came here? I remember like Sanjay and Vijay, they were both carrying Gurudev, right, to top. So anyway, I actually came there, and Gurudev was actually Gurudev was there watching Mahabharata. Now in those days, sometimes he was so much entangled and absorbed, and he was actually watching Mahabharata that sometimes even an English devotee coming up and he was asking Gurudev something, he would actually reply in Hindi. It's like, oh, I cannot speak in English right now because I'm so absorbed in this mood right now. So in that specific moment, actually Gurudev called me in front, and he would actually give me specific instructions, like, oh, you should be well versed, and he would tell me to study Rasamrita and Shikshastakam, and in what mood. And he was explaining to me the definition of bhakti. And again, he was telling me that don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. So because time is very, very precious. So I will start concluding here because we have one more speaker coming up. That one day that Srila Gurudev would can appear in my heart as well, and that I can somehow, in some way, realize the essence of his instructions. Vanchakalpadrupsya kripasindevacya paritanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Pranams.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your wonderful pastimes which you experienced at Srila Gurudev. So I'm also connected with most of the pastimes. So I'm remembering everything. Also, what you said when Srila Gurudev came to our house, we had also 2 stairs. You were thinking how Gurudev went upstairs, but when at that year, Srila Gurudev came secretly actually in Holland. And no one in Holland knew that Srila Gurudev was coming. And my 2 brothers went to the airport to pick him up. And when Gurudev arrived, then my brother Vijay, he carried him upstairs together with Brajanath Prabhu. So both of them, they were lifting Gurudev up, and he went upstairs. And also what you're saying, you came also to our house for darshan, and then you saw that Gurudev was watching Mahabharata. And it was like you saw also the sound was very loud because Gurudev couldn't hear. He couldn't hear so much. So that's why the sound was very loud. It was like we are watching there, it was very nice. And then after that, Srila Gurudev also told, you are watching Mahabharata, but don't enter in that. Because he said, he was speaking in Mahabharata, you see everything, but you're seeing also married life. Everyone seems to be very happy, but in reality, they are not happy. So he was telling that. And I remember also one time you came again for darshan, and then I was there, I was sitting with you together with Srila Gurudev. And I remember that Srila Gurudev was saying he was making plans for you. I don't know if you remember that he wants to take you with his tour and also become his servant. But then at that time, you were also busy with study and other things. So you were in doubt what to do. Then I said to Gurudev, if he cannot go, can I travel with you and, become your personal servant? Then Srila Gurudev said, oh, you have a woman body. If you would be a male, then you would have been my personal servant, he was mentioning. So many things I'm recalling. What you have spoken about Kaikdan Park, I remember that also, how you were engaging in so many services, how to clean the pots, how to clean everything, and how Gurudev came, and also about the cooking that day. I thought Sripad Madhav Maharaj would cook that day. So I was, me and my family, and together with all the devotees, we were more busy in the big kitchen for cooking for like 500-600 people. But Gurudev, that day, when Srila Gurudev came, found out that nothing was cooked for him, that day we got the order to cook each day for Srila Gurudev. Also for the big public and also for Srila Gurudev. So starting from that point, we were cooking each day. And so everything went nicely.